you just love it when you just spend all your savings for the wonderful miniatures and you just painted them and you want to get to play with them? So you go online and you check for like tutorial how to make easy, cheap terrain. So you can play your match of Killed Him or something like that, and then the guy online is like, here's all the things that you're gonna need for this cheap thing. These are the tools that we'll be using. These are the materials. And then to top it all off, we're gonna paint it with this. And so you're just sitting there like, I just spent I don't want to spend any more money. Like, why do people keep doing that? Why do they call it cheap? I need to look all this up, so I'm gonna change that. So I'm gonna show you how to make some very basic starting things with only just this and this, the things you actually do have on. So if the only thing you would have to spend money is the glue itself. Everything else, none. So to get things started, we're gonna need the materials. We're gonna have multiple different methods. We're gonna do using some milk cartons. We're gonna use some of these egg things for some details later. We're gonna use the pizza boxes, empty cans. Although these are simple, just putting it like that. Have 2 of them. That's actually one of the first terrains that I had. I had just 3 cans glued to the base and sprayed metal, and that's it. That's one of the very simple things. So I suppose method 1 already done. Let's move on to the next one. We're gonna do something like this, a very simple looking terrain, by using just your average milk carton or really any cardboard you have laying around. The same principles apply to this. I just don't happen to have the regular cardboard around, hence why we're doing it the other way. Just goes to show, not everybody has something simple as the cardboard to go around. I also used the hot glue for that one, so let's get cracking. Alright, so first things first, we're just gonna use this milk cardboard cut out of fancy little pieces to get our base started for the building here. Start cutting and making random slices to get a shape for a broken down wall. Then you bend the bottom lip so you can glue it down to the base. Like so. Give it a quick dry fit and then slap glue on that. And there you have it. First wall is done. Now let's move on to make a corner of a wall. Again, just cut a random piece off from the cardboard you have. I am planning to use the L shape as a base, and now I'm moving on to cutting the wall itself. Just making random pieces along the way. I'm just trying out different orientations of this piece and trying to figure out how could I make this work. Once I find a suitable piece, I'll just bend the bottom lip to give it more support, because this particular cardboard is so thin you can't just glue it down. And here I'm already getting ideas for a different kind of structure, but then I noticed this slit on the wall and I want to make it as a firing slit, like a bunker kind of wall. So I try to now just shape the wall around me, around the hole, just to fit my purposes, like that. And as it turns out, ripping the cardboard with your hands, in this case, resulted in much better looking, more natural looking crumbled wall. We don't want the edges to look too clean, because this is supposed to be a torn down building, and once again bend the bottom section to fit in better. Once the dry fitting is done, just slap some glue on that bad boy and slap it to the base. Doing a bit of a more shaping to make it look something interesting. There you have it. 2 different walls done. Now I'm making just some random scatter terrain to add some details into the broken down building. So I just ripped 2 pieces and try to make them look like they are tiles or section of the building that has fallen down. And next, I want to make a building that has another floor that you can access to. So starting the same way, just rip and tear decent looking pieces from your cardboard. So this piece right here will be the main wall for my upcoming 2-story building. Next, I am getting the second floor up and running, and you just simply put it up as if it was a regular wall, but on the side. Make sure you have some room at the top that will work as a cover for the infantry units that will be on it. Then I came up with an idea that the section of the floor would be crumbled down, and is in 45-degree angle downwards. And this is where the stick glue just doesn't work, or I wasn't too patient with it to work. And later I will come back to this piece and fix it, because I wanted units to be able to stand on that. However, this cardboard being flimsy as it is, I am trying to make like a support piece over here that makes it so more secure for your models to be sticking on top. So I'm making this kind of a triangle piece that will be attached to the wall and the floor, and that way it will support the top section better. Unfortunately, the glue wasn't too cooperative with me. And next, we are just gonna attach it to the base before moving on to the different section of the building. Now, the problem that I also kept having with this milk carton cardboard is that it wouldn't hold the fold. There's many ways you could fix that by making a slight cut to the one side so it would hold it better. And there you have it. We have now 3 different building sections that can be combined as you will. Although that folding issue is still a bit of a problem, which can be fixed by using supports. Which I'm not doing too good of a job in this particular video showing them off. In the meantime, make sure to get the miniature to test out your buildings. Make sure that how they how they work. As you can see, it's quite wobbly, and yeah, that 45-degree angle didn't work. So since the glue doesn't work either, I'm doing this kind of a step section, so it has partially collapsed, and I'm trying to glue it in. Unfortunately, again, the stick glue is not working, and later I'm switching over to the regular PVA glue, I believe. But you can get the general gist of what I'm trying to go for here, to have a step like that. Yeah, so these things seem to be working fine. And I'm just checking the wall heights, etc. Moving on to the next pieces. This time I want to do some sort of like a fortification tower. This time I wanted to do like a fortification similar to the castle wall with the outlooking tower. And for this one, to make the upper rim, I'm just taking this thin piece of cardboard and cutting about halfway in to make these like sections of the building. And as you can soon see what these are for. I simply just bend down every other section that I just cut to make this castle wall looking thing. And if you want, you can leave those things in, but I just I decided to rip them off instead. Obviously my scissors are not good enough for this, at least these particular ones. I do have better ones, but for authenticity of the video, you know, not everybody might have a sharp scissors, so good old fingers will get the job done and even give it some detail. Still working with that shoddy glue, and now I'm just trying to figure out which side of the building. Initially I was planning to have it the extra floor within the interior section, but I got too lazy and I was getting pissed with this glue, so I went ahead and decided to go this way. But as you can see, the glue is not holding too well, and I'm just losing it, to put it mildly. Now what I should have done is cut a wider piece, so this way it would have made more sense to have it like the way you see it. This is the part where I finally switch over to enough is enough, using a proper glue and it actually starting to stick in better. And there you have it, a simple castle-like fortification, although very shoddy done, but you get the general gist what I was going with here. Me being very lazy that I am, yeah, this is what you're getting. Once the glue has set in, all you need to do is cut off the extra bit that you may or may not use on somewhere else. The reason why I'm not closing in the section, because I wanted to add, I wanted to add stairs to this, but just bending the, as you can see me try here, just bending it out and slapping on that. I tried various things with these stairs, but it would not work, so I ditched that entire idea. But you can see here that I'm just brainstorming, trying to make it work. I mean, you could do it like that, but then in the end I figured, you know what, I'm gonna make this like a wall structure thing instead and orientate it against it. So this time I'm taking a thicker piece than I did before, although it still could have been thicker, and
do the same, just cut halfway or about as high as I want my, I'm not sure what are they called, the castle structures, and just bend every other piece and rip them off and just glue them in. I also figured, you know what, this works as like a bunker thing, you know, just testing out ideas that I could do later, but for this one I'm still going with the initial purpose. But you could see that you could easily make some sort of firing line thing out of it just on its own. Just wait for the glue to settle. And there we have it. Like a cheap fortification kind of looking thing. Gets the job done initially. These look terrible, but once you get a coat of just any coat of paint on them, it will be better. Now, moving on to scatter terrain, I have taken out this kitty food box, and it has this kind of like the wavy pattern on it, and I just keep gluing them on random sections together to form this like a mess of rubble, pile of rubble that would block line of sight or maybe give a tiny bit of cover, and you get the general gist what you're looking at. You may see the empty bottle thing that has been cut up on the background. I tried to do some things with that, but that didn't turn out. I couldn't get it to work. So in the end, I figured that the half pieces maybe could be used as some sort of force field. Then moving on to some little detailing with this egg carton. And with this one, I have a couple simple ideas that you can use and abuse. First things first, cutting out one of these like a tank traps looking thing. They were too tall for my taste, so I figured, you know what, this is good enough. They work as well infantry cover. Next, we're gonna take just a flat piece and make this long cut. We're gonna make tiles out of these. Then I start making like these circles, cutting out circles out of it, and these will work as stone tiles to add some details. I didn't make too many of them, and it doesn't. I didn't even show it properly on the cam, but you can see I have various types of them, different shapes that I'm just gluing them together to the floor. As you can see, to make some sort of you know, floor tiling. And then I take the square ones, to make a brick looking wall out of them. And they actually, once you have the whole wall covered, it looks really good. But once I had all the tiles, you know what, I zoom in because that's the best you're gonna be seeing it, because I never ended up showing it on the cam, unfortunately. But once you paint these, they actually look pretty good. And now moving on to, you know, mixing the shapes to show that you can make this like a tile sort of structure for the fortification floor. You know, you can mix and match to make all sorts of different patterns with your thing. Yeah, there you have it. Now looking everything we have done so far to give a rough idea like what we made here. I mean, it is dreadful as you can see, but you can get a match going up with this. Thanks for watching, everybody. Hope you enjoyed my lame video. Until next time, guys, see ya.